Hi guys, thanks for joining us for some more Real Talk Dog Talk. I'm Tori.
And I'm Barb.
For those of you who have not joined us before, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com.
And if you are a regular listener and you've been emailing us, we love to hear from you. Keep those emails coming in. They help us come up with new topics and ideas. I was going to mention to you, Tori, that Kay called me this week.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
What'd she have to say?
She wants to know why it sounds like I'm talking into a tin can.
Me too.
So the answer to that is we have no idea why.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we have tried a few different things, and it just sounds like I'm in some other country, another room. It sounds awful. So we apologize for that problem, and we are working on it. Hopefully you'll bear with us on it.
It will get better.
That's our plan.
It will, yes.
We don't know how, but our plan is improvement.
Yes, however that happens.
All right. So today we're going to talk about my least favorite topic, and that is dog food. As breeders, Tori and I get asked all the time which dog food is the ones we choose. And it is a really tough question because of all the variables out there.
And in our area, it seems to be hard for some of the stores to keep certain dog foods in stock. So
Right, and we are rural, so the options for shopping are not that great unless we want to drive an hour and a half away. So we just it's a little tougher for us on top of having all the different options. So Tori,
yes.
what is your biggest problem with picking a dog food?
I would say I have to be careful because one of my dogs has an allergy. It seems to be more with chicken in the dog food, chicken ingredients, and he gets a pimply rash around his mouth. So I have to be careful on making sure I'm picking the right type of meat that's in the dog food.
Right. I think some of the dog foods that are least likely to cause problems with your dogs with allergies, this is my opinion, is with lamb and rice. And that seems to be the one that is causes the least amount of problems.
Yes. Well, and some of the most common allergens for dogs is dairy, beef, chicken, eggs, soy, and wheat gluten, which some of those surprised me.
Right. Well, actually, I was reading an article on a dog. The gal who owned it had gone through all the testing, trying to figure out what was going on with her dog's allergies. She couldn't figure out what it was. And actually, it was not even the food. The dog was reacting to the aluminum bowl that it was eating out of.
Which I would not think of that.
Yeah, so as far as allergies go, you kind of have to look at every aspect of feeding your pets.
Well, and there's a couple different ways you can figure out the allergies, which it can be tricky no matter what.
Right.
You can do the blood tests, which is probably more expensive, or you can do call it a trial elimination. Essentially, you're just eliminating certain foods.
Right.
And,
I'm kind of a process of elimination. That's my first choice, and then if I can't figure it out, then I see about, getting the test done to kind of get it nailed down.
Yep.
Some of the foods that, I was going to make a list of the top 10 foods, and my gosh, the lists were so long, and there were some I didn't know how to pronounce.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, where are these foods? But they're not in our area, so if we were to get anything, in the top 10 list, I think we'd probably have to order it. And we have done that in the past. We've just gone on, delivery from different companies. But as far as dry food being better or worse than a raw diet, I don't think we can really say that one is better than the other. As a breeder, the one the way I was doing it was I did a combination where I was feeding them kibble at one meal, and then the raw meat at another meal, or sometimes I would blend up the raw meat and put over the kibble as a gravy.
Yeah.
And I actually found out after I'd been doing that for quite some time that they say that that causes digestive problems.
Oh, okay. I guess suppose switching between the two could.
Yeah, like the dog is having troubles, its body can digest the kibble, but the raw food is a different issue for him. Honestly, I don't know if I really agree with that, and I still kind of do a combination on that. And then also when a dog goes to its new owners, typically they're going to feed them kibbles.
Yeah.
So I want them to be able to carry on with what I'm feeding them.
Right. Which there can still be some loose stools and things like that just from switching, but it's typically not anything to worry about too much with that. But
well, I think if you kind of ease the transition, kind of go at it partial,
yeah,
a little bit here and then a little less there, a little more here.
Yeah.
I think if you work it into it, their bodies adjust a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I know with the raw diet, sometimes people make the mistake of not putting any fruits or vegetables in there, thinking that the meat's going to be enough. And dogs actually do get a lot of nutrients from, fruits and vegetables and things like that, and they do need that. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're trying to figure out your dog's diet too.
Right. I think so really if you think you're just going to give them, a piece of chicken leg or some ribs or whatever with the bone and everything, and that's enough, it really isn't. You have to add the vegetables, and even kale is something that you put in there. Sweet potatoes are great for dogs. I put some carrots in Elsa's food the other day, and she ate right around them.
Oh, sure.
So apparently dogs are a lot like kids, where they don't really feel like they want their vegetables either.
No thanks.
Yeah, so it is best to add those little extras to the meat, and if you can get them to eat them, that is the best.
Yeah. Well, and I have seen people have trouble with their dogs keeping weight on and things like that. And it could be something along those lines where they're just not getting the right nutrition to keep the weight on.
Right.
So it can be tricky finding the right balance.
I did do a little Googling on different types of dog food, and some of the pre-made meat ones that, the one that pops into my head because I can't find my note is the Farmer's Dog.
Okay.
And that actually is, I think, one of the top 10 or top 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
But they, it is not only meat, but it has the vegetables kind of ground up in it.
Oh, nice.
So that maybe they can't eat around it quite so much like my girl did.
They have to eat it.
Yeah, it's part of the meat. So I think something like that where it's like all put together is a really great idea, just because I know my dogs.
You gotta hide it like you do with the kids, like you said.
Mm-hmm. But also with the meat diet, what people don't know, or maybe they do, and I'm over speaking, but also the organ meat is actually quite healthy for dogs too.
Oh.
Yeah, it has minerals in there that are essential for dogs' health. And so you can buy kidneys, chicken liver, or gizzards. In Tori's case, that wouldn't work because your dog is... He's sensitive to chicken.
Yeah.
But you can take those meat products. Actually, that's what I do when I have puppies is I go to our turkey plant.
Yep.
And I get 60-pound boxes of gizzards and hearts and put them in the blender. And that's what I start the puppies off with their eating.
They love it.
And, of course, I add a little bit of the puppy milk with that. And if I do have goat milk to my, available to me, then I'll use that over the milk replacer. But you can check with, your local butcher shop as far as organ meat goes, and they can order you a pretty decent size amount, and then you can just slice it up or
freeze it.
Exactly, and it'll last quite a long time in a regular situation. So that's something that's good to know too, along with the blueberries, the carrots, the broccoli, and all that.
And actually, you will be surprised. Some dogs really do like fruits and vegetables. I mean, not all of them, of course, but.
Right. Not at my house.
Well, mine neither, but I've seen it on videos on the internet.
Well, then it must be true.
It's gotta be.
But there are, we're not really sponsors of,
Any specific dog food or type.
but some of the dog foods that are kind of in the spotlight, the top 5 that we found are, one is Ollie, and that is a raw meat. It's actually 5-star as well.
Oh.
And that is actually number 1. And that has sweet potatoes, blueberries, raw meat. That has the carrots and the peas. Number 2 was actually the farmer's dog. So that was a 4.5-star. And that has, that's actually pre-portioned so that you just have to open it up and give it to your dog. And it's fresh frozen, so it'll last quite a bit. I don't know, some of these raw meat ones that you have to buy and freeze, they seem fairly expensive. But for one dog, that's not a big deal. They're also, the farmer's dog is also vet approved.
Okay.
And let's see, I'm just looking here. It says fresh frozen. I don't know what wouldn't be fresh frozen, but that's good to know.
Yeah. Might as well specify anyway, I guess.
Yes. We're glad to hear that.
Yeah.
There's one called Spot and Tango, and that is personalized puppy plan by a vet, and it is also fresh frozen, and it is innovative dry meals. So I don't know exactly where that's going, but
Interesting.
that is a 4-star food.
Okay.
Number 4 is Pet Table, and that's a 4-star food. That has human grade recipes that are developed by a vet, and they give you a trial box that is 100% money back if you are not happy with it.
Okay.
And then number 5, now these are the top, oops, I'm losing my earbud. Nom Nom is number 4.
Oh.
I've actually never heard of that. The recipes are by Dr. Justin Schmalberg.
Nom nom.
DMV. And it's balanced, all natural puppy meals. So I don't know if these are specifically geared for puppies or if they have them for, the adult dogs as well. I'm not too sure.
And, my question for that too is with these, does that go where puppies, like you said, senior, large breed, small breed, do they have variations of that food for each one of those? Mm-hmm. A lot of them do, but...
Right. Well, I don't know, this is more your raw diet, and okay. I don't know if there is, honestly, I'm not really overly familiar with the raw diets that you buy prepared. Mm-hmm. So it's really a tough one to talk about, but I know with the kibble, they have age-appropriate feedings, for seniors.
Okay, yep.
Right, and the puppies like you're talking about.
Yep.
So, you would almost think that the raw meat folks would be following suit on that one.
I would think so, yeah. But
and most people are only feeding like 1 or 2 dogs at a time instead of 10.
Right, we gotta, It's a little different here, but...
what I wanted to mention is number 9, which I didn't go through all of them because the list goes on and on.
And there's 25 top 10 lists.
Yeah,
and...
there's so many, but there is one, it's Dr. Marty, and it's a 4-star food.
Okay.
And that one is actually, one thing I liked about this one is that it's a freeze-dried food.
Oh, okay.
And I'm kind of a fan of the freeze-dried because it does, and it says right, on the listing there, it said that it, keeps maximum nutrient quality. And that is the reason that I'm kind of a fan of the freeze-dried. And there's like 0 additives in that food, and it is fresh, raw dog food made easy. And the shelf life on something that is freeze-dried is really great.
Oh, that's awesome. So how long is that shelf life for freeze-dried? Do you know?
Forever.
I should have known.
No, it is not forever, but it is, I believe, 2 to 3 years.
Oh, yeah. That's
if it's
plenty.
kept in a cool, dry place.
Yeah.
And don't quote me on that, but that is what I have heard myself. So it's a pretty decent amount. And then I did have, me and my top 10 list. I have a dried dog food list here too.
I'm curious about that one myself, because...
Well, these are all, definitely high-end foods, and I actually only have, this is a top 8 list.
Oh, okay.
Not a top 10.
Well, I guess...
So, and everyone out there is going to think I'm an idiot because some of these I am not sure I'm pronouncing right. So, obviously, they aren't foods of our choice.
we have not heard of them.
Well, I've seen them, but I've actually never tried to pronounce them.
Right.
So, here we are. We're going to give some of these a shot. But we have Merrick, and that is a chicken sweet potato recipe. And then we have Nature's Variety and Taste of the Wild, High Prairie Canine, and then Wellness Core Natural Grain Free. A lot of people are going with the grain free. Not necessarily bad, but they do have other ingredients that compensate for not having grain in it.
Yes.
Then there's Canaday. Yeah, we don't use that one, so we can't pronounce it either. That is also a pure grain-free food. And then number 6, I might not even try. And then number 7 is Castor and Pollux organic dry dog food. And then number 8 is IM's Proactive Health adult dry dog food.
Oh, okay.
Now, that is a food that we use for our dogs. We use the IM's brand. We like the large breed puppy food.
Yep.
And even though we use that, we when I'm raising puppies, I put a couple of raw eggs and some chicken gizzards, and I make a pate.
They love it.
And that's what they start with. And then as they get a little older and their teeth are a little bit better, then I put some of the IMs in there and I soak it with the pate, so it's kind of a mush.
And delicious.
And add a little bit of milk in there with it, milk replacer or goat's milk. And then from that, I work them into just the IM's large breed puppy food. So IM's is a breed that we use, and we can find it at a couple of different stores up here. So for convenience sake, that's one reason we choose that. And I'm glad to see it made it to number 8.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have used other foods, and there always kind of seems to be a problem with supply.
For full disclosure, if you do want to feed your puppies that way, just be aware they are messy, okay?
No.
It's going to be all over. But
Yeah.
they love it, though.
They do. They end up with it all over their faces. There's something else. But anyhow, so for the dog foods, I mean, I really think that it's not really about right or wrong. I honestly feel like it's about picking what's best for your situation, affordability for your dog. You know, like Tori, she picks hers totally on...
He's got allergies.
The well-being of her dog. And
some of the allergy symptoms are ones that I actually hadn't even thought of, too. So you just kind of want to watch out for those. And
did you make a list?
I made a list.
Oh.
Yes, I did.
Let's hear the list.
It's not top 10, but it's a list.
You know, I'm beginning to think you're copying me and my list.
What? No. There's some of the more common ones are itchy skin, paws, ears. We had a dog who had food allergies a long time ago, and his ears like got swollen or something. They were something was not right with the. Anyway, and some of the more subtle symptoms where they may not even seem like an allergic reaction is hyperactivity,
Oh.
weight loss, lack of energy, and aggression. Which those subtle symptoms are ones that I really wouldn't have even thought of being an allergic reaction, but maybe with the, if they've got irritated skin and paws, that could cause some of these.
They'd be cranky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be. Some of those I had not even thought of myself. You always look for, when it comes to having a problem, you always look for something visual.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, I do.
Like the pimples on the face.
Yep.
Or swollen ears or something visual, but you don't really think about the being aggressive.
Right.
I mean, that kind of makes me think and scratch my head on that one. But yeah, those are some really good ones. Good ones to be aware of too.
Right. I mean, if you have a really calm dog and all of a sudden they're acting aggressive and, standoffish, that could be it might not be. It might be something as simple as dog food change,
Well, the thing, too, is one thing I think about when you talk about all these allergies and the dog food, and there's so many options, I think people forget to think about the training treats.
Yep.
Or the snacks that they give their dog.
Yeah.
Or even I have a dog that I'm crate training right now, and I give her the digestible bones.
Yeah.
I mean, those are something that could be, loaded with ingredients that would cause allergies. So when you're dealing with allergies, you can't just look at the food.
Right.
You have to look at everything you're feeding them, the treats,
in anything being ingested.
Right.
I mean, and that's something I'm old enough, I've had plenty of dogs in the past, but I've not had one with allergies like Enzo. Mm-hmm. And so I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
In the last few years here, and
so are you on a learning curve?
I'm on a learning curve.
Okay.
Learning a lot.
Yeah, you are.
About allergies.
Well, it always is. I always tell people, I know quite a bit about dogs, but I am always learning too. There's nothing that, there is so much information out there. I like reading on things that I think I know about, and then I find out I don't.
Yeah, right? Yep.
So, it's really good to just keep learning. And as far as food goes, one thing I found out, and I guess it makes sense now that I know it, but I never knew that eggs were part of a raw meat diet.
I didn't either. You've been doing that forever, though, too.
I have. I usually boil up like 18 eggs and keep them in the fridge, and I use them as treats for my dogs.
Yep.
And, if they're coming out while I'm cooking or doing something in the kitchen, I'll just grab an egg out and break it up in a couple pieces and give them a little treat. And I've always thought it was healthy, but I did not know that was actually part of the raw meat diet.
You're good, and you didn't even know it.
Yeah. So, that was kind of a surprise to me, but, and there again, I've been mixing those eggs with their dog food forever. So, yep. I really haven't had problems with any of my dogs having any kind of digestive issues with mixing the raw or liquid for the puppies.
Right.
The diet with kibble. So, like I said, you've just got to make a choice that you feel is the right choice. And, if you're caring, responsible owner, you're going to do what's best for yourself and your dog.
Well, and that's true. Dogs are people too. Okay.
Tori.
Yeah, well. Everyone's different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Some people more so than others, I'd say. We do know dogs are not people.
Yeah, we do, actually.
But Tori seems to be on a different level than myself as far as dogs go.
Wow. Like I said, my son kept asking for siblings, so that's what he got. More dogs.
Wow. And did you talk to the dogs about that?
Mm-hmm.
And they said?
Okay.
So that was a pretty lengthy conversation.
Yeah, it was mostly on my side.
Oh.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
And it's hard to believe, but...
Not really.
Okay.
And As your mother, no, that is not too hard to believe.
Yeah, well, you have known me a while.
Right. So, anyhow, so dog food is a really tricky business because there is so many variables from the different age ranges, you know, the senior, the puppy, the adult, all that business, just so much. And then you go from that to raw.
Right.
And, you know, there's then within the raw, there's the categories of, you know, puppy and adult.
There's a million variations of each type of food you can use, and there's a ton of different types of dogs. And
I think, too, you have to just look at your dog and how they're responding health-wise, nutrition-wise,
yes,
to their nutrition.
It's huge, just, paying attention to them. And we all want to do what's best for our dogs and make sure they're happy and healthy. So,
and, you know, I honestly respect people who can't afford a raw meat diet. I mean, not everybody is at that point, and that is no disrespect to the people who go to Walmart and buy a bag of dog food.
You do what you got to do.
And as long as you're doing the best you can for your pets, I think that's great. So we're not telling everybody they need to, you know, go to the high-end shelf and buy, you know, the best food or the best snacks or the best raw diet. We just think that you have to be able to do the best you can for all the animals that you're responsible for. And for us, it's always challenging to answer the question as far as what dog food do we use, because we have our own recipe at Primo Corso Kennels for the adults as well as the puppies and transitioning them into new homes. So it's very hard for us to just give that answer.
Especially when you're dealing with, you know, health issues. I mean, whatever they may be, not just allergies. I mean,
right.
So.
Well, and, you know, even like within my own group of dogs, there are some dogs that I see that have a harder time holding their weight up.
Sure.
And then Yazi is a little on the easy to feed guy.
Yeah.
You know, he eats whatever I put down, no problems. But then you take Elsa and Ivy, and they tend to be more lean. And so those are the ones that I want to give a couple extra eggs along with their food just to give them the extra fat and calories.
Yep.
So you just have to look at what your dogs need.
Yep. And those girls, they eat just as much. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, well, you know, my method for feeding the dogs is to give them more than what they want, and then I take away what they don't eat. Mm-hmm. And none of my dogs are really overweight. The girls are right in the 100-pound range. The boys are a little bit bigger at the 145-pound range, but they are boys, so...
I have to I don't necessarily measure it out, but my dogs are plenty hefty.
Tori has fat dogs.
What?
They are fat.
They are adorable. And
if you like fat.
Well, skinny dogs aren't fun to cuddle with, okay?
I'm telling Elsa you said that. I'm going to go home and have a conversation with Elsa.
No, I'm going to have to
tell her that you don't like skinny dogs.
I'm calling the house and talking to her first.
My phone.
Dang
it. Anyhow. So, really, the topic of dog food is a crazy topic.
We could talk about it for days, honestly. I mean, we have, when we're having trouble, you know, with something being in stockers. Back to the drawing board.
Well, and two, you know, I know there are some people that switch foods a lot, and I don't know that that's really good for their stomachs so much. With my dogs, we try to keep everybody kind of on the same amount of food and also the same brand of food. And then the variable for my house is the eggs. And if I'm going to, you know, blend up make some gizzard smoothies or something to dump on.
So when you were saying it upsets them with the raw food, switching from the raw food to the kibble.
Right.
I feel like it isn't, there's more of a problem switching from different kibble to kibble than from raw food to kibble like that. Because my dogs when I do have to switch foods because, say, we're out of stock for what I'm using, They tend to have upset stomachs. They get loose stools, and they seem to eat it all right. But I feel like that's a little bit harder for their bodies to kind of work out.
Right. I would agree with that to a certain point. I mean, I think any major change, especially if you have dogs that are on a specific type of food or a certain diet, and they've been on it for an extended amount of time.
Yeah.
I think anytime you go switching them around, they're going to have digestive reactions to that. It's going to be loose stools or who knows what.
Yeah.
Generally, it's just poop. Sometimes they get a little bit, they just don't want to eat it. Their appetite is less, it seems, and that's because they're getting used to a new flavor. But also, I totally agree with that, but I think it can be with any kind of transition on food.
Yeah, that makes sense, though, too.
Yeah. One thing I did read is that the reason dogs can eat the same thing over and over and over and not really get tired of it is they don't have overly sensitive taste buds.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can actually feed them the same dog food and, of course they love a taste of beef jerky or a boiled egg or something like that, but they don't have such a sensitive palate that they get sick of a certain food.
That's a little depressing.
A little bit, but it's more convenient for shopping, that's for sure.
Definitely is, especially if you got a picky dog.
Yeah. So, and that's interesting too, now that you say that, what is it with the picky dogs?
Yeah.
I mean,
Elsa's picky.
Elsa is very picky. She does not like cheap dog food. She likes the best of the best, and that's kind of Elsa's attitude, though.
She's a princess.
A little bit. She's the queen.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. She's the original lady.
So, if you feel like your dogs are getting bored with dog food, the likelihood of that, they say, is slim.
They're just being
fussy farts.
Yeah. Ooh.
So, that's something to keep in mind as well.
But yeah, dog food is there's so many things you could talk about with dog food. And honestly, this would be a great time to send an email in to realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you got to say about dog food because, we're always looking. I have my own feeding regimen, but we're always looking for ideas to, maintain good bone and health. Their coats, I mean, when a dog is well fed, they just shine.
They look so nice.
So it's not just bone and joint health and healthy digestive and all that, but also it just makes them just look amazing when they're getting good nutrition. So we could go on all day long about the, back and forth of which food is better than the other and what's best for the dog and your budget. But really, it's a learning process, and we just all have to, share the ideas and keep doing the best we can for our four-legged pets, cats included.
Cats included.
Just not at our house.
Nope.
If you have any comments or questions, we always like to get our email out there at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com. We love to hear the comments and questions. Or if you're one of my friends and you just want to call and ask me what the heck's going on, feel free to do that as well.
You can harass her.
And they do. So, we hope to have you back next week. I'm Barb.
I'm Tori.
Have a great day.
Bye.